Hello everyone and welcome to the session 5 of unit 6, the process costing and accounting for the course estimation and costing. Myself Muhammad Imran. So in the today's session we are discussing about characteristics of good wage incentive system, factor influencing the wages and types of incentive. So in the last class we have discussed about the wages and types of wages. So wages is the reward or the payment made to the worker for the service or for the effort put by the worker to the concerned company. So yeah, for the effort, for this effort where the company is paying some amount, so this amount is known as wages in terms of finance, or in terms of the payments, or wages is known as the money is known as wages. So characteristics of good wage or incentive system. So what are the some characteristics of good wages system? How should be a good wage incentive system is identified? These are the following characteristics. It should be simple in working and readily understood by the worker. So the wages payment, the wages calculation should be in simple. So it should not be complicated. That will make difficulty for the any workers to understand. So how much salary I will get, he must know that for how much work he must, how much salary I will get. So he must know, so that it should be it will be motivating the worker to produce more. Otherwise it will be difficult if the workers find difficult for finding his calculation of salary, then he will be in confusion. So how to means how much he has to produce or how much wages he has to get. So it should be readily understood and by the worker. It should guarantees and adequate minimum day wages. So it must guarantees the minimum wages. Otherwise the worker will be in a trouble. So he will spend time uh, by thinking about this only. If we don't get some minimum wages, what to do about how to survive for today, and means how to survive his family. So he will keep on spending time on this only. If should not get adequate money, guaranteed adequate money, so he will keep on thinking on this. So he'll waste means he will reduces his efficiency will be reduced. So it should be fair for both employer and employer. So in giving the adequate salary and easy calculation, it should be fair for both employer and employee. So the employer should not be in trouble for giving by giving more salaries to the employee. So it should be fair for the employer also. For the payment made by the employer to the employee, they must also take the same service from the employee also. It should have free consent of workers, means free environment to the concern. It must renewal the worker as per merits and capacity. So the wages should be given to the should not be given to the same to mean the same manner. So if the efficiency, if the worker has a talent or more efficiency, then we have to identify him and we have to give him more salary in order to encourage his effort and his talent. We have to give him the more salary. So it should be the method of recognition should be there in wages and incentive system. It should involve less clerical work to reduce the accounts. So it should reduce the wastage of material. So in giving the salary to the employees and also taking more work from the employees, so it should not waste the materials, plants and tools and equipment. You should not make a rough use of the machines. So if you make the machines careless use of machines and the components and tools, what will happen? The repair and maintenance work increases, that usually affects the cost of production. So that will also be taken care. See, the careless use of tools, plants, equipment should be avoided. It should increase the production without affecting the quality. So if you are if the wages means if you are motivating the employee to work more or to produce more, at the same time you should be careful with the quality. In producing more, the worker should not neglect the quality of the product. That will damages the customer image. So you have to keep in mind of quality also. It should have effective and less supervision. The supervision should be effective. You should observe all the works of the worker, and at the same time it should not be heavy for the supervisor to take care of all the employees. So it should be simple and very effective. It should be, it should give incentive, bonus, etc. along with the wages. So in addition to the wages, so it should encourage to give incentive, bonus and everything, so that will encourage the employee to produce more. Next, the factor influencing the wages. So what are the factors that will influencing the wages that will given by the employer to the employee? So following are the factors: the worker skill, training and experience. So if the workers have some skill, and if you have some extra training, and also if you have experience, then will this factor influence the wages to the employee. So we cannot give the same wages to the workers with less skill and workers with the more skill. And also if you have the worker has a special training, we have to give him more salary. And also experience of the worker, depending upon their experience, we have to give him the more salary. The bargaining capacity of the employer and employee. So during the recruitment of the employee, so we have to, the employee has to bargain for more salary. At the same time, the employer has to restrict his salary for less. So both has to bargain in order to fix their wages. This also affect the wages. The product demand and supply. So if the product which are the company is manufacturing have more demand, then the employer will happily give more wages to the company, to his employees, in order to get the more profit, because his product is has continuous demand, so he required more production. So if you give more salary wages to the employee, they will produce more. So if the components having much less demand, so we cannot give the employee, their employees, the more salary. So whatever salary they will offer, they should have to work. So next, extra earnings of the job by producing the work in a standard time, and if you are saving time, so that also defends the wages. Firm's economic condition. The economic condition of the firm also influence the wages. If the company has a good economic status, then they can offer more wages to the employee. If the company, the economic condition is not good, if he has got some losses in the previous year, then they cannot means offer more salary. Whatever salary they will offer or wages they will offer, for that wages the worker has to work. Then the national income of the country, labor's productivity, efficiency of the labor, regularity in service. So regularity means if they in a month the employee has to work for 25 days, then if they are not working for 25 full days, if you are taking leaves, or taking leaves for holidays, or like taking leaves for family personal things, so that also reduces his wages. If he has worked for full 25 days, he will get more wages, means standard wages. If he has worked for less days, less than 25 days, then there will be a deduction in his salary or wages. Economic outlook of an employer, cost of living, nature of work involved, risk, noise, etc. So risk involved also increases the wages. See, if the person working with a very high risk, for example in a oil digging company, means he has to go inside the deep inside the ocean, so that involves very risk. So that kind of the services are should give more wages, should offer more wages, because it has involved a risk of the life, risk of the human life of the human being. And the nature of work where which is producing more noises also, that damages the human ear. So in that time also, the keeping in mind, because of the risk involved, so we have to pay him a more wages. Otherwise the worker will not work there, because of that environment. The prospects of the future promotion, so that also influences the wages. Then the incentive. So incentive is the reward given to the workers in terms of financial or non-financial to the worker for his increased output that encourages the worker to put more product effort voluntarily. Incentive is closely related to the performance of the worker, resulting increasing in wages corresponding to increase in output. So incentive means it is a reward given to the worker in addition to his salary. So incentive is given in addition to his salary. What is the purpose of then giving the incentive means in order to increase the production. So if a customer wants more product, so if a company is producing a standard output, if they want more production from the employee, then the employer will offer the incentive by giving incentive. They will motivate the worker. They are encouraging the worker to produce more by keeping in mind the quality should not be damaged. The quality at the same time, the quality of the product should be also same as they are produced in a standard time. In addition to that, if they produce more than whatever they produce on a daily basis, so they will encouraging them to produce more by giving extra income in terms of finance and also in terms of non-finance. Finance include giving them bonus or giving them more salary, extra salary, whatever they are working means more than their wages, and also giving them bonus or giving them shares, whatever. So non-financial means giving them, offering them the family tour, or giving them food, or giving them the tickets for cinema, or whatever incentive in terms of non-finance. These include non-finance, not in terms of cash. So finance means giving in terms of cash. So the purpose of incentive is to increase to motivate the increase the production by motivating or encouraging the worker to produce more without affecting the quality. So incentive is closely related to the performance of the worker, and it benefits both the employer and employees. How it will benefits employer and employee. So employer will get more production, and at also time the employees will benefited with more wages. So it will benefits more. It will benefited by both the employer and employees. So types of incentive include financial incentive and non-financial incentive. Next we'll move to the financial incentive, types of financial incentive. In that we have different methods of financial incentive. Piece rate system, cent percent premium, Halsey premium plan, Wire premium plan, Bidax premium plan, Rowan premium plan, Emerson efficiency plan, Gant's task and bonus system, Taylor's differential piece rate system, Merrick's multiple piece rate system. So these are the various methods for giving financial incentive to the employees. Let us discuss one by one. First one is piece rate system. In this system, the piece rate for the completion of job is fixed. So piece rate means for a day he has to produce, for example, he has to produce 10 pieces. So for producing 10 pieces, 100 rupees salary is fixed for the employees. If the person produces more than 10 pieces, that is standard for his day, then we have to give him the bonus for the extra pieces produced. Suppose if he has produced 11 pieces, so standard pieces is 10 pieces. So if he has produced 11 pieces, then one pieces, for example, for one pieces he has to pay, we have to pay him 10 rupees, since he has he has to produce 10 pieces, means for one pieces 10 rupees we have to pay. So if he has produces 10 pieces, that is standard, so we have to pay him 100 rupees. If he has produced 11 pieces, then we have to pay him 110 rupees. So 100 rupees is standard salary, 10 rupees is extra. Only if the person produces 11 pieces, then only we have to give him the extra salary. If the person produces the 10 pieces, then only we have to give him the standard salary, that is 100 rupees. So he can save his time. In that save time, he can make more and more jobs. For example, the standard pieces for the day is 10. So standard hour is 8 hours. So if he has produced 7 hours only, if he has produced 10 pieces in 7 hours only, so 1 hour he has saved. So in that 1 hour, if he has produced 2 pieces or 3 pieces, then we have to pay him an extra salary in terms of pieces. For example, for one piece is we have fixed 10 rupees. then we have to pay him if he has produced produced more 3 extra pieces, then we have to pay him 30 rupees extra in addition to 100 rupees. Next is cent percent premium. So in this system, a standard time for the completion job is fixed. For example, a component which is having a standard hour of 1 hour, standard time of 1 hour. So component for example a piston rod, so it can be manufactured with a standard time of 1 hour, so it is fixed. So now the workers who completes the job in standard time is not given any incentive, but those who completes the job earlier get the full payment for the time saved. So in that percent premium plan, a standard time for any component is fixed. For example, piston rod 1 hour standard time is fixed. If the workers fulfill or produces that component in a standard time, that is 1 hour, so he will not be given any incentive. But if the worker who has finished that component before 1 hour, so for example 50 minutes, so he has saved 10 minutes, so for that 10 minutes we should have to pay him the incentive. So for that 10 minutes he is be involved in producing other component, so for that time we have to pay him a incentive. So person who are finished with the standard time will not be given in incentive. So this is about cent percent premium. Halsey premium plan. So in this system, an hourly rate or daily rate is guaranteed. So hourly rate, for example, for 1 hour 10 rupees, for 8 hours 80 rupees is fixed, or daily rate for 1 day 80 rupees, or in terms it is fixed. So the person whatever he works for 8 hours, then we have to pay him 80 rupees, or if they work for 1 day, we have to pay him 80 rupees. So in addition, a standard time is fixed for the performance of the each job, and the worker is paid agreed rate as per hour for the time spent, plus the percentage of usually 33% of the time saved. So and also the standard time is fixed. For example, if a component having 8 hours, so for day 1 day for he has to produces one component, but if he has produced within 8 hours, for example 7 hours, so 1 hour he has saved, so that 1 hour is used to produce another component. So for that 1 hour we have to pay him a 30%, 33% of the time saved percentage is, so 33% of the 1 hour is 33% of the standard time, that is for example 80 rupees we have to pay him. Here if he has saved 1 rupees, 1 hour, 1 divided by 33 into 80, that is around 10 rupees we have to pay him as a benefit, means I'll explain how. So calculator, so for 1 day 80 rupees is fixed, 8 hour is the standard time. So if he has finished any component in 7 hours, so 7 hours, so 1 hour he has saved. So for 1 hour saved time he has giving we are giving him a salary, means 33% of the time saved. So 33% means now 0.33, so 0.33 star 1 hour into 80 is your standard time, 80 rupees your standard wages, so 26.4 rupees we are giving a extra salary plus 80, so his salary will be 106.4. if he has worked for if he has worked it for finished it for 1 hour earlier, then we have to pay him a salary of 106. So if the worker who has finished in a standard time or 8 hours, then we have to pay him a standard fixed salary, that is 80 rupees. So that is about Halsey premium plan. Next is Gantt or task bonus system. In this system, first carefully study of the job is made. From the study, best condition for the performance of the jobs are determined. On the basis of this performance, standard output for the given time is set. Now if the worker completes the job in given standard time, he receives the wages. So for in all bonus system, we have to fix him a standard time. So if the worker finished with its standard time, then we are not paying him any extra bonus. But if the workers produced within the standard time, less than the standard time, then we are giving him the bonus for the time saved for the standard time. So every time he has to finish within the standard time. For 1 hour is fixed. If he has finished in 45 minutes, for that 15 minutes we have to pay him a bonus in all the system. So that the different system gives the different kind of benefits. So in the Taylor's differential system, in this system the standard time is also fixed for the piece, and who completes the job in standard time, produces the job earlier, are paid at the highest rate, and those who do not complete the job in standard time are paid at lower rate. Next is Merrick's multiple piece rate system. In this system, Merrick divided the workers into three categories. So in Merrick multiple piece rate system, he divided the employees into three categories. One is beginner, other one is average, next one is first class worker, and three different rates for them, and the three different rates are paid for them. The highest rates are paid to those who reach the standard. Average rates are those who reach the at least 80% of the standard, and the third rate is below the 80% of the output. Non-financial incentive include person interest paid to the worker, fair and providing sympathy towards the worker, encouraging the workers with quick promotion, giving them quick promotion so that he can produce more, giving them quick promotions, opportunities for the development. Thank you.